Okay, guys. Welcome back to the return after a little break thanks to me going to America and then having cold when I got back to the UK. But Ace Attorney is back this week. I'm gonna turn down my headphone volume because I can barely hear myself talk, let alone think. But I am very, very excited to get back to the Apollo Justice trilogy today. I don't know whether I'll finish Dual Destinies today, which is the current game in the trilogy that I am playing, but if I did manage to finish Dual Destinies today, that would be amazing, because then that will be 2 games in 2 consecutive days on stream. Well, actually no. There was the stream yesterday, which was just very good, but in terms of completing a game, we're still very much playing that game. So, what am I talking about? Okay, just gonna load my game. So we are currently on the Cosmic Turnabout, and we are in the middle of a trial. So, I don't know how far I am into the case, but yeah, that's the goal for today. I'm gonna try and finish the second game in the trilogy if I can, because it would be great to get on to Spirit of Justice, because I don't know whether Spirit of Justice is my favourite game, but I do like it in terms of aesthetic and like the differences. Like, there's a difference in locale in that game, in location, so, and I think it really refreshes the Ace Attorney series a little bit. So, yeah. Just making sure I get the right save. At least with these games, there's a timestamp on the save, so it's easy to get back to where you definitely last were. Okay. I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm. Director Cosmos, do you admit you've switched the launch pads? No, I admit it's true. I switched launch pad 1 from the Space Museum. Ah, it is good to hear words I can believe for a change. Before you do, Your Honor, 2 things. First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with Launchpad 1. So my first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? As for my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent, but I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could do to keep my men from getting caught in that blast. No. The director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why. Probably not a good time to try and pry it out of him, huh? Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing. I don't see why not. Bailiff, help the director retrieve his stars. It appears the possibility of a culprit other than the defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say? I don't get it. Don't get it? What don't you get? Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us. Mr. Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why, but I had to do it to protect the Space Center. Director, will I ever get the chance to go into space again? Yes, of course. I won't rest until it happens. I will get you into space again, my boy. Then the dream is still alive.
Silence.
What's Black Quill got to say? Humph. You're not going into space, Starbuck, but prison. I won't have it any other way. Why are you so hung up on him? Yes, I accept the launch pads really were switched. And if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I have yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum. Oh, that's a good point. Ah, he's right. I don't have any proof. Starbuck, you will spill everything you know. What? Me? Ah! Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now. If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood. Ah! If I'm going to die, I want to die in space. I have to do something. Solomon Starbuck, prepare yourself. Nika! The way... I know what you're looking at me for.
I guess they don't call you G-Dog for nothing.
I said, God, not...
Sure.
Not a certain very problematic N-word.
Ugh. Put it lightly.
Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. No, that annoyingly cheerful laugh. It can be none other than... Champion of Righteousness Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust. Detective Fulbright? Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late. I don't believe we had an appointment. I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, justice sure is a full-time job. Was it a fight between cats, or... Ahem. Why are you here again? Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Fulbright, I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed? No, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment. What evidence? Come to think of it, he did say something about finding us some evidence. Thanks, you two. I feel a lot better now I've been able to get that off my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. I didn't think he was serious, though. So, what is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent? It is, indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? That's right, a lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim Clay Terran's blood, along with his killer's fingerprints on it. Whoa, what? Ah! Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, can I assume the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant? You bet. Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent. This is it. This is just what I needed. The lighter has been added to the court record. The lighter found on the floor of the Space Museum. The true culprit's fingerprints on it in the victim's blood. Your Honor, this is decisive evidence that supports the defense's earlier claim. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate that after the killer murdered Mr. Terran, they escaped with lighter in hand into the Space Museum, where they dropped it. The switching of the two launch pads occurred. Then finally, the killer left through boarding lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found in boarding lounge 1 after the murder, a fact that Director Cosmos has testified to. Therefore, Mr. Starbuck couldn't have possibly been the one to drop the lighter there.
Silence.
Ah, but the defendant had free reign of the area until Dr. Cosmos appeared. Director Cosmos appeared, sorry. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during that span of time?
Objection.
You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure with the lighter, he went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have had the time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could only have been dropped by the real killer. No. Most importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the lighter. I think you understand what this means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbuck wasn't the culprit. Ah! This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense's claims. As for the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, we can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. No, there must be some mistake. Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence.
Fulbright, you promised never to speak of that. Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow? Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent, in light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. A few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, this court finds the defendant, Solomon Starbuck. Wait, did we do it? Is it over? Yes, we did it, Mr. Wright. Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright. Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes, thank you. And please thank Apollo for me too.
Do the dab.
Bless me. You all are the best.
Okay, God bless you. You're blessed. Are you happy now? Thou art blessed, Georgia Chan.
Oh, Dad, not now. Sorry guys, my dad just decided to ring me. Just texting him back to tell him I'm busy. Yeah, me too, but that's going to have to wait. Now that a verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection.
Oh no, Black Quill. It's too late to object, isn't it? It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell, are you dissatisfied with the verdict? Fulbright, what were the results of the fingerprint analysis for the lighter? Huh? The results? Ha 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 ha. Well, I was in a hurry, you see, and then there was that cat fight. And well, I kinda got carried away when I heard the prints weren't Mr. Starbucks, so you have yet to read it? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who the prints belong to? Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Sykes. What? Me? What the hell are Athena's fingerprints doing on that lighter? This has gotta be a setup. Order, I say, order. Miss Sykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We just finished proving that this lighter could only belong to the killer. So finding your prints on it can only lead us to one grave conclusion. I don't know how they got on there, but I know I'm not the culprit. That this can't be happening. We built up our argument piece by piece, and I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty, so how could it have led to this? Pardon me. Okay, lighter has been updated. It has Athena's prints on it in the victim's blood. Ah, well, what have I done? Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Order. Detective Fulbright, stop your crying. What in the world is happening here? It's like the world's gone mad. Order. I will have order. Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. I forgive you, Fulbright. Yeah. I mean, Fulbright was busy. I have no idea what you did, but I forgive you. So Fulbright was busy solving other police cases, and he got this fingerprint analysis for the lighter, but he didn't read it. And so he never realized that apparently the fingerprints on the lighter that are smeared in the victim's blood belonged to Athena. So Phoenix's assistant. After all we fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Yeah, oopsies. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of a twisted darkness. Okay, that is the end of that case. One heck of a cliffhanger. So, yeah. And now we are moving on to the next case. I totally... Wow. I don't know why I thought this game only had 4 cases, because clearly it has 5. No, I don't want to overwrite again. Okay, so let's see how the main story of Dual Destinies will end. So because I am playing the trilogy version, the Apollo Justice trilogy also does have a couple of bonus cases that were never released to the like the original 3DS versions. And I will be playing those. I will be playing all the cases. How's the audio looking? Let's see. Ooh, a little quiet. Okay. Yeah, Turnabout Reclaimed and Turnabout Time Traveler. Yeah. I love that the Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice games have anime in them. The bombing really decimated the courtroom though, jeez. Doop. They took Athena from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. If only this game was told chronologically. Yeah, it is a bit annoying, or not annoying, but it is a bit confusing. I mean, I only really grasped with this on-stream playthrough that, yeah, they do tell the whole story, but they go about it in a very leapfroggy kind of back and forth way. Like, I don't get why Capcom couldn't have just told the story like, okay, this is what happens, and then this is why Apollo eventually leaves. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. A non-chronological story can be engaging, but I think they just did it to spice it up. Yeah, because the way they did do it, it does kind of, it kind of puts emphasis on Apollo leaving, and then also with Athena being incriminated as a killer. So yeah, but I feel like there would have been more backstory and more motive for Apollo leaving, and then everything happening with Athena if we kind of saw the lead up before that, whereas kind of instead of spliced in between it. It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah, it seems so empty too. I just don't get it, Danny. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah, and I still believe it was, at least based on what we know. But now, Athena is the one who's being accused. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, the Write Anything agency cannot have more than 4 employees in it at once. Yeah, I do remember that rule. This is another thing with not telling the story chronologically, is they're having to kind of refill the gaps in the player's head through flashbacks and stuff, whereas if they'd told the story chronologically, then they wouldn't have had to do it, and they would have saved a lot of repeating themselves. So I don't really need to read this part again because we just saw it play out. But Athena got arrested, obviously, because when you're suspected of being a killer, that's what happens. Regardless of whether you're a lawyer or not. But Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Where's the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? Of course I will. And thanks, Trucy. I needed that push. Trucy's right. The trial is tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I better get out there and find some evidence. Off we go then. We're on a hunt for evidence that will prove Athena's innocence. Great, but before we go, I better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Athena is probably still in the middle of being questioned. So, Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. Okay, yeah, so we are going to move to the entrance of the Space Center. Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. Cosmos clearly doesn't like us anymore. I do appreciate the implication the court record is just Wright's pockets. Yeah, that's really clever. Yeah. And it's funny when the kind of, I guess the game's equivalent of stage directions in a script, where it's like, evidence stuffed into pocket before Edgeworth, I don't know, or Gumshoe sees it. Like, it's funny when the game uses that implication in witty remarks like that. His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. So, let's move into the boarding lounge. Because if Cosmos isn't going to talk to us, then we're going to need to find someone who will. You were here only yesterday. Oh, hey! Hey, it's Solomon! Mr. Starbuck, you've been released, huh? Yep, and I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except... What's wrong? I thought he'd be happy to be acquitted. As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Sykes. He saw Athena? I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then, you know what? She flashed a peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back into space someday. Yeah, that sounds like Athena. I can just picture it. When I saw her eyes, they were red and swollen from crying. She's gotta be suffering. She must be so worried. And yet she went out of her way to be nice and give me that big smile. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Athena. There's no question about it. That girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. And then they can put me in prison instead. I don't mind. We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck. Don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. I know she'll be alright with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollo has a fine boss to look up to. Okay, let's ask Starbuck about the murder. I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing? I haven't the foggiest idea. So there never was gonna be a launch that day, not from the very beginning. I wonder if Clay knew. I imagine he must have. Surely you would have noticed when you went toward the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're worth less than space debris. Is he going to be alright, Daddy? His expression looks as dark as a black hole. Well, that's just how he is. Now let's ask Starbuck about the murderer, who he obviously doesn't believe it's Athena. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murderer? Not really. I only saw a shadowy figure in the dark after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey, I heard something from the police, though. They said they never did find a .10 caliber gun down that trash chute. Just as I thought, the culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. So, was the person you saw holding a gun Mr. Starbuck? I couldn't really tell, but it wasn't Athena, right? Could you tell if the person was male or female, tall or short? I can't even tell you that much. Man, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. Door? Ah, yes. As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. Door to Launchpad 1, right? Yeah, except right now, the door leads to the Space Museum. You mean the Launchpad and the Space Museum are switched right now? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? Sure, just let me have my print scanned here. Okay, switching the launch pads. Do the launch pads get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used to switch the paths around at times. But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right. Because, quite frankly, the Space Center needs the money. I hear ya. Times sure are tough. Daddy, let's go check out what's beyond that door. Sure, let's go. Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around. Ooh, okay. We've got some leaves on the floor. Huh? I wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoe. There are lots of trees around the Space Center. She's right. It's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. But I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they've been stepped on. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor and they came in that way? Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. And let's check the fingerprint scanner. So this is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh? Yep, but this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button and open sesame. So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either? That's right, Trucy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints when they escaped back out of the Space Museum corridor into boarding lounge 2. So the Launchpad 1 door lock has been updated. Well, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me, and I imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor. So we don't have anything. There might be some evidence to present, but I don't think there's any evidence that is questionable. I do want to see what Starbucks says about the lighter though. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's not gonna say anything. Okay. So let's so I can't examine. Maybe there's something else I can talk to. So So we've definitely talked about everything. Let's try going back to the entrance. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, Cosmos is back. Curse the wretch who sullied my good name. Reverse course and full speed away. Director Cosmos, wait. I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that. Ah, the mobility system has been compromised. Trucy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what trick she's been practicing. My dear old battleship, we fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor. Daddy is going to blow that thing up. Nah, I bet all that button will do is make it go haywire again. Very well, I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. So, let's talk about Cosmos switching launch pads. Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the two launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent, but I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast. The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner. I knew! I had an inkling there was some Cyclops coming up. No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo a Cyclops if I want to get to the bottom of this. I mean, yeah, I assume we can unlock those now. Because I don't think we can do much of anything else. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the two launch pads. I refuse. You can't make me. I can hold out longer than anyone. I hope I never get like this when I'm old. Now let's see where to start. This is how you explain your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it Why did he do it again? I wish I could remember, but the last time I streamed this game, it was a few weeks ago because I had a break due to going on a holiday. Okay, I think it was to... I don't think it was to fool the bomber. I think it was probably to prevent the bombing. You said your motive was to prevent the bombing, right? So what you're saying is that even though I switched the launch pads to prevent the bombing from happening, it ended up happening anyway and I'm nothing but a big fool? Well, I never said that last bit. Haha, that was just a little joke. Now I'll tell you what you really... Oh, okay. So it was to save the astronauts. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that seems more right, actually. My astronauts were raring to go out on an authentic adventure in space. How do you propose I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing? I agree you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off. I mean, if it wasn't Claire, then the only other person it could have been was... Or actually, it could have been Candace. But... yeah. Actually, no. Aura does make more sense because he wouldn't... He didn't really know Candace, whereas Aura works there. It wasn't this person, was it? Are we done here? I'm quite busy with the aftermath of the incident, you know. Oh, guess I was right about being wrong. Oh, was it Candace? Oh, I should have trusted my gut. I don't think it was Claire. Unless Claire was actually in on it. But... yeah. Oh my god, it was Claire. There's no way it was Starbuck. So yeah, it's gotta be Claire. There we go. Third time lucky. You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you. Oh! He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. Ah, someone please help this poor prisoner of war. How is he able to spin around like that? If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch? If I could have done that, do you think I would have gone to all the trouble? I guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't call it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? Pardon me. Well, that's because, I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronauts' safety. But it was just a warning. It could have even been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely? Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days. Oh, I didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone. Yes, that's right, the bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see, aka a regular old telephone. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call. The bomber said, "It's been a while," and that was enough to make you take the threat seriously. Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before. Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. The hat tube bombing. That must be where the answer to your secret lies. All hands, ready the Galactic Scooter's main turrets. Teach this blockhead what a precision shot is all about. Ah, you got me. It must be the courtroom number 4 bombing. It was a courtroom bombing, wasn't it? That's when you were dealt a major blow. Do you really think blowing up a courtroom would have shaken the center of the cosmos? Yeah. Oh my god! Oh, my brain. It's the Hat One miracle. Good thing I'm not getting penalized for any of this. The Hat One miracle, that epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery, but in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said it's been a while, you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real and it wasn't a prank. God, didn't anyone ever tell you to go easy on an ex-serviceman? Yes, the Hat One miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight. Sabotage, murder, so this is the ugly truth behind the Hat One miracle. I let my guard down. I thought that the saboteur had been caught and that the case was closed. Huh? Wait a minute. The murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit. Blackwell, yeah.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell, the murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So he thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, she got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time. Nigga. How do you keep seeing straight through me? Well, I did it. There we go. We have broken his Cyclops, and now we can get the truth out of him. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat One miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch launch pads, we'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. 7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat One miracle? The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space and the troubles began, it was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme. So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. Wow, I had no idea such awful events were behind that exciting story of space heroism. All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country, carries out dangerous missions, and always gets the girl? Someone's watching way too many late-night movies. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all that surprising a spy could be behind it all. Okay, the spy. This is turning into a James Bond case, apparently. Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. Same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. The prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed, and then to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then 7 years later, the same MO, advance warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. Okay, just like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it? That's right, the caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said, "You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you?" I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way the astronauts would go from boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a close for repair sign at the door to launch pad 1 in boarding lounge 2. You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terran, but you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it? Bless me. He'd already been through enough, and he's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well until... Blade's murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out, but after all that effort, Terran is dead and the Hat 2 is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in the blast. My home, the center of the cosmos, my beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for. Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in the blast? Yeah, don't we have the Hope capsule? I thought the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? Samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launch Pad 1, but I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway. But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. You misunderstand. The launch pad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. In the courtroom bombing. Okay. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about switching of the launch pads. What? How? The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship, a tap on my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes, a wire on this very phone. I used this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch, just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion, and planted the bomb then. Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So, you really think the same spy is behind this incident and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. Then this spy must be the Phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once, the hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center too. So if we can find this Phantom, that's right, we can clear Athena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in. Hehehe. Ha 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 ha. It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl, I'm done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed. Do you think he's going to be alright, Daddy? Well, at least he'll be in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission too. If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me, I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. It's like he achieves spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. Okay, I'm gonna prevent you all from getting motion sickness whilst by covering up Director Cosmos. Okay, Space Museum it is. Let's see, where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There, that's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh wow, look at that photo of the team. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aura Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Let's check out the newspaper article too. Hat 1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. Hat 1 exhibit has been added to the court record. A newspaper clipping, a photo of the people involved with the launch, and a jacket one of them wore. Hello? Oh, Julie. Oh, Miss Woods, what brings you here? I heard Dina got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here at the scene. You must be so worried, but rest assured I'm going to do my very best to defend her. Dina's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her. Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center? What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl. She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. Miss Woods, could you tell me more in detail? Ah, so Athena used to live here. Athena's mum worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that. But why was a psychology specialist working in a space research facility? I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Ooh, I wonder what the sad memory is. A sad memory? Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. Same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Dina's mom, in the robotics lab, she was murdered. What? After it happened, Dina stopped coming to school. Poor Athena. And all this time, she never let on at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters, but I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. And so the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Professor Court's case. That's right, and I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person, so cheerful and happy. Okay, let's learn more about young Athena. What was Athena like as a child? Just gonna have a drink? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She liked to draw and paint at home. That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. It must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. Huh, I wonder what kind of research it was. Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often, and I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. It brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Ooh, Daddy, show her that picture. Atta girl, good idea. Okay, let's present the picture of the Hat 1 team. Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Oh look, there's Athena's mom. The woman on the far right, the one in the kimono. That's Dr. Metis Sykes. Athena's mother's murder. Did it, by any chance, have any connection to the Hat 1 launch? What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean the crime Prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? Oh. Athena and Blackwell's relationship just seemed to get a little bit more personal rather than just business. There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. But there is. Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods, and please try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. So we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. We've got our plates full, Daddy. I hope we can fit it all in before the day is through. The detention center first then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. And we've got a lot to talk about. Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright, here on business. To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Toney, the one behind the courtroom bombing incident. He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case, and what he was saying was so incredible I just had to come right over to hear more. Incredible? What was he saying? Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? Ha ha ha, I give you my special permission. Here comes the bomber now. You, what nerve you have to come here. You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. Violence? No. Question? Okay. No violence? Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine, then just answer me this, Mr. Toney. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room. What are you talking about? Who else could have been there? I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. What? I don't know who it was, but that's who blew up the courtroom. You expect us to buy that? Easy there, Trucy. I don't see any Cyclops, so I guess he must not be lying. Pardon me, I got a little carried away, but I'm telling you the truth, I did not detonate that bomb. And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course, so we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself or what's left of it. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow, they've laid it all out piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh, looks like his geek switch has been activated. Okay, 30 Fancy Bomb added to the court record. It was found in Body Lounge 1 and detonated in courtroom number 4. Fragments being analysed. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning. Anything but that. I'm afraid I have to be off now too. I was just about to question Miss Sykes. You're going to see Athena now? That's right. Oh, did you folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go. What bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her. And after we came all this way, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go check out the robotics lab, Daddy. Alright, sounds like a plan. So let's move to the robotics lab. So this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly one floor above the boarding lounge, and where people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. I swear Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots. Daddy, look! Over there! Apollo! Ooh, what's he doing here? So, they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell? I wonder what they're talking about. Well, well, come to spoil our fun? Just when I was enjoying our alone time. Trucy and Mr. Wright. If it's Apollo you want, you can't have him. He said he's investigating on his own, and I respect his wishes. He just came to investigate this lab. Well, this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. Okay, about what happened? I heard about the trial. You made mincemeat out of the director. And suddenly Starbuck was out and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed, and they all lived happily ever after. Ha ha ha. Her! Daddy, say something to her. And I suppose you're going to defend the princess in court, am I right? The princess, huh? Guess she's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. Oh my, such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you. Don't you agree, Apollo? I don't know yet. Apollo, how could you? What's wrong with saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. Your subordinate is more level-headed than you. Or should I say former subordinate? Ha 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 ha. I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena? Phew, all this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, hunk of junk. Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay? Mr. Terran? But that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo was possessed by Clay's ghost. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her too, of course. A robot that can see ghosts? Yeah, right. And I'm a spirit medium. Sorry, but apparently scientists don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena no matter what you have to say about it. How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Just like 7 years ago. Okay. Well, I don't know if you caught that, but Clonker seems to think that Clay Terran is injured, so that might be a clue as to the circumstances around Clay's death, as in maybe he didn't die instantaneously. Or maybe Clay was injured at the Space Center before. Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? Why? Do you enjoy trampling on other people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or do you just want me to talk? In that case, what should I ask for in return? I'd like to hear about that incident too. It'd help me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too. Well, if you're the one who's asking, Apollo, come on, hunk of junk. You tell the story. But Miss Aura, that's private information. Tusk, if you won't talk, I'll just have to make you talk. Oh no. Yes, who cares about personal privacy? Not me. I am ready to utilize my blast processing abilities to impart all available information. Wow, what a magic trick. He's like a completely different robot now. The bodies of all the robots that come through this lab are designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much younger then. Yikes, better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Clonko. And then our hearts were created by that great genius, Dr. Metis Sykes. Hearts? Robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing? Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. The two navigation companions created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Gah! Metis. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. Nobody could continue Metis' research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companions are all that are left of Metis here on Earth. The robots are all that's left. Isn't she leaving out a very important someone? Yeah, what about Athena? We built the ultimate creations together, but now she's gone. I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. Hahaha, what are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost someone too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue? Keep your trap shut, hunk of junk. Plonka and Ponka. Plonka was an important keepsake of your time with Dr. Sykes. You should treat him better. What does it matter? He doesn't feel pain, and I can always repair his body. Besides, their hearts aren't actually in their bodies. What do you mean by that? The program Metis wrote runs on a separate mainframe. Their bodies are controlled remotely from there. Their hearts and memories are there too. These bodies are really just peripherals. So I can do anything I want to them. I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things. But why are you people looking into such an old case now anyway? Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case. So Daddy's going to find out who killed Dr. Sykes too. I'm sure you're aware of who Metis' killer is. Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell, or so it seems. That's a quaint way of putting it. Are you implying you don't think he did it? I can't say anything for sure right now, but that's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it to help me be sure. Okay, Dr. Sykes and Simon. I was the one who introduced Simon to Metis, you know. He wanted to learn psychology, he said, to give himself an edge in court. Ah, Prosecutor Blackwell's forte. His infamous power of suggestion technique. Exactly, and he was awfully serious about it. Rather than a teacher-student relationship, he treated her more like how a loyal samurai would treat his sovereign. Huh, he seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me. He even got along well with that miserable little princess. Why do you call Athena the princess anyway? Well, she is Metis' daughter after all, although she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't the selfish little princess always have lots of white knights hanging around? Now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything when we ran into Aura yesterday. It all makes sense now. So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same, huh? That settles it then. What does it settle? None of your business. Just forget you heard anything. How long are you people going to hang around in here anyway? What? But we came here to take a look around. You think you can just waltz in and ransack a person's lab? Show me a search warrant. We're not the police, so we don't have one. Then get out, now! Clonko, show them out. So certainly, Miss Aura. Ouch, don't push! My apologies, I'm just following orders. Ah! Well, so much for that. What a way to get shown out. Nerve of that woman. What's with that horrible attitude? I guess that's just how she is. And why was Apollo going along with her? I guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay, just like how Aura lost Dr. Sykes. I'm really worried about him. He's not himself at all. He's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that. I guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky? I'm going to go keep an eye on him. Hey wait, Trucy, come back. She's gone. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. Guess I'll go back to the office alone. Okay, back to the Right Anything Agency. Well, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. I guess I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. And then for a while after that, she was always by my side. Now I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Huh? There's something on the floor. What's the letter doing here? Hey Nick, it's been a while, huh? Miss me. I know this handwriting. It's Maya! I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have really been something, although weird is par for the course with you. I think she, or whatever paper she's reading, is a little off on the details. I'd love to come visit, but I'm right in the middle of a difficult part in my training. So instead, think of me as you watch those Steel Samurai videos I sent. I'm sure they'll cheer you right up. Yours truly, Maya Fey. Good old Maya. It's as if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. Maya was my assistant for quite a while, believe it or not, but she's a spirit medium. This Magatama I use on Cyclops, Maya is the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Mr. Nick? Ah! Oh! It's Pearls! Oh my god! First we get a letter from Maya, and now Pelfie is back and making her... I think this is her 3D debut. I don't think we've seen her in the Apollo Justice trilogy yet. Okay, Pels. How have you been, Mr. Nick? This is Pearl Faye, though I call her Pearls. She is Maya's cousin, who is also a spirit medium. A very talented one at that. I've known her since she was 8 years old. Okay, how is she now? How old is she now? I need to know. Oh, her profile's not been added yet. But Apollo and Athena only met her a few months ago. You didn't come all this way just to bring me a letter, did you? I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked. And I can't believe there was a big explosion here. Your office doesn't look any different. She's even further off on the details than Maya. I wish I could take you out to eat or something, Pearls, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that. I didn't come here for a social visit, you know, Mr. Nick. Okay, Pals is Erin. Can I look now at her age? Oh, there we go. She's 17 now. Oh my god. So yeah, some considerable time has passed since Phoenix and Pals first met. Did you read the postscript on the letter? Huh? There's more? Oh yeah, here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean or take care of the office, so Pearlie said she would come help you. Isn't she sweet? You better thank her. Oh, so that's what you're doing here. That's awfully nice of you, Pearls. Maya and Pearls, thanks to these two. I'm starting to feel a little better. Thank you, girls. Now that I'm here, I'm going to whip this place into shape. You just concentrate on your work and don't mind me at all. I'll need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about the case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. Okay, time to go talk to Blackwell. Well, look who's here. I wonder what they're talking about. All this time and you haven't said a word. It's even turning your hair grey. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Ooh. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. When there's no tomorrow? What is she talking about? We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. Alright, fine. I see you're just not going to listen no matter what I say. I've had it. If that's the way you're going to be, I have another plan up my sleeve. I hope you're happy, Simon, because I'm done. Do as you please. See if I care. Ugh. Wow, I could cut the tension with a katana. Right, Dono? It looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, he did. He bounced back to business quick. Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but it was just the right thing to do. But as a result, Sykes Dono was arrested. Was that the just thing to do too? Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry, but it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend her and prove her innocence. I wouldn't take things so lightly if I were you. Right, Dono? But this is blade-proof glass, right? Okay, let's talk to Simon about 7 years ago. Prosecutor Blackwell, we're looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for somebody you call the Phantom of 7 Years Past, aren't you? You villain. Where did you hear about that? That this glass is absolutely positively blade-proof, right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single word. Oops. Ouch, at least it wasn't my fault. Could you tell me who this Phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Sykes, did you? Guard, the guest is leaving. Prosecutor Blackwell, please listen to me. The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you would cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. I suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was without question me. I stole Sykes Dono's mother away from her. I destroyed her life. Prosecutor Blackwell. Guard, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. There he goes. No! We've upset Prosecutor Blackwell. Now what are we going to do, Mr. Lawyer? There isn't much we can do. Detective Fulbright, do you mind if I ask you just a little more about that old case? Well, I guess it won't make any difference now. What would you like to know? Okay, the trial 7 years ago. Do you know anything about the trial that got him convicted? A little. The police call the incident the UR1 incident. Prosecutor Blackwell was charged with murdering his psychology mentor. Kind of like if your red Mr. Lawyer were to kill you. I don't want to think about that one. There were two decisive pieces of evidence, so a verdict was reached very quickly. 2 pieces of evidence, huh? What were they? Let's see. The first was some security camera footage. He was the only one who used the corridor to the murder scene at the time of the crime. The only one, huh? Ouch, that does sound pretty decisive. Could you show me that footage? Oh, sorry, I don't have it with me right now. I guess I'll have to see it some other time. Okay, video showing the corridor to the crime scene. Blackwell was the only one to pass through. And what was the second piece of evidence? This one's even more incriminating. Photo of the moment of the crime. See, there he is at the crime scene holding a bloody katana. It was the victim's kept on display in the room. She had a thing for Japanese culture. Well, wow, it'd be hard to explain this one away. Katana has been added to the court record. The weapon used in the murder 7 years ago. It belonged to the victim. The victim's blood was found only on the blade. But who took this picture, detective? The incident happened the day before the Hat 1 launch. The reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room across from the lab. This just happened to show up in one of the pictures he took. Okay, a photo of the crime taken accidentally. It became conclusive evidence at Blackwell's trial 7 years ago. Blackwell's attitude earlier was so odd. He's definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackwell said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as his execution date approaches. What did you just say? Execution date? What? Did I say something? Never mind me. You didn't hear a thing. Does that mean that if Blackwell isn't acquitted of the crime tomorrow, he's gonna die? So he was given the death sentence. Yes, he told me not to tell you people actually. But I guess there's no sense hiding in it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. Oh no. What? Tomorrow? No. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. But what if the culprit of the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? Then it would be the worst possible scenario. Prosecutor Blackwell would be executed tomorrow under a false charge. But that would be unthinkable. We have to do something right now. I want to do something, I want to, but you're a lawyer. You know how hard it is to overturn a verdict. I know, but why? Why isn't Prosecutor Blackwell putting up any kind of fight? You saw how he was, right? He's been like that ever since his conviction. Totally uncooperative. Not even his own sister could persuade him. Uncooperative when he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. I can't let it happen. I have to stop it somehow. Oh, pardon me. Looks like I have a phone call. Fulbright here. What? What's happening? You've got to be kidding. That's quite a reaction. I bet he's making some big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer, the robots. The robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself. Some kind of robot malfunction. Not a malfunction. They're staging a revolt. The machines are rebelling against humans. They've holed themselves up in the Space Center and taken visitors as hostages. They did what? Oh no. No, Trucy. Oh yeah, Trucy's there. We have to get right over there. It's going to be one heck of a battle. The riot police are here, and the robots really are holding people hostage. Look, Mr. Lawyer, what do you suppose that group of people are swarmed around? But I was only trying to help this nice person. She said she was lost. You robots have declared war on us humans. You've even taken hostages already. Stay away from it. You never know what it'll do. But he's not a bad robot. Can't you see he's just trying to help me? I recognize that voice. Detective Fulbright, are you okay here on your own? Leave it to me. Alright, people. What's going on here? Oh, it's Pearls. Oh, no. Pearls, over here. Oh, Mr. Nick. There you are. I heard the terrible news and I got so worried. Thanks, Pearls. I can hardly believe what's happening myself. I'm so glad you found each other. When people are happy, I am happy. Blanco seems the same as before. When people are sad, I am happy. When people are angry, when people are... Oh, did I say something odd? Did I ever... Uh-oh, there is something wrong with him. Ah! It looks like he fell asleep. He must have been tired. He, ha ha ha. Clonko? Oh no. Ha ha ha. Human beings are our enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. Ah, the robots are rebelling. Everybody run! Eek! It's an all-out war. It's the end of the world. Ha 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 ha. Fools. How could you fall for something so cliche? I'm human too, you idiots. I'm just controlling these robots remotely. What? But it is true that I've taken hostages, so you better not make me mad. Hey you, hostage number 1, come here. I'll let you talk to him. Huh? There's something being displayed on Clonko's face screen. It's Space Museum. Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Trucy? Trucy, is that you? No. Trucy, are you alright? About 15 robots are holding 12 of us hostage, Daddy. They've gone haywire. Our researcher is the one behind it. She's here, Grr, this girl talks too much. Trucy, Trucy, talk to me. Why are you doing this? I'm glad you asked. My demand is simple. I hope that detective is listening. Bobby Fulbright here, I'm all ears. I want you to bring someone to me. Play Terran's murderer, Athena Sykes. Athena? And now hold on just one moment. I can't give in to a demand like that. So you don't care what happens to these hostages, huh? I'll just pick one out then. No, wait. Ah, Mr. Lawyer. I know I have absolutely no right to make such a ridiculous request, but you need me to buy some time, right? Got it. I'll see what I can do. But promise me you'll never hand Athena over, and you won't give up on the hostages either. Of course I won't. Now I better go contact HQ. Mr. Nick, how do you plan to buy time? I have no idea yet, but this hostage taker, could it be? If you don't bring me that little princess, I'll have hunk of junk kill all the hostages. Princess? Hunk of junk? There's only one person this could be. In which case, there must be something I can use as a bargaining chip. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. This hostage taker, Athena, is not a murderer. What are you talking about? She's been arrested and they've got her in detention. I'm telling you the truth. Look, the person you want is the real killer, right? Well, it's not Athena, it's someone else. Alright, let's hear your stupid little theory. Who is this real killer? I don't know yet, but the culprit is the same as the one in the case from 7 years ago. The UR1 incident. I believe you have a personal interest in that case. It's too late to change what's going to happen now, no matter how wrong it is. But is it really too late? You can still do something about it. You might even be able to fix it. Just what exactly are you proposing? What can I do about 7-year-old case to satisfy the hostage taker? Retry it in court. I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. If you make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. It wouldn't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth. Hee hee hee. Ha 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 ha. That's good. Real good. Hey detective, I'll give you 1 hour. Get a courtroom ready. Well, 1 hour? But that's impossible. Please give me at least until tomorrow. If you don't mind losing hostages, you can take all the time you want. Oh, but wait. If we're going to have a retrial, we'll need a prosecutor. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. She will. And I guess I can be fair and let you come in and check out the crime scene. But Uncle Junk here will be watching you, so don't try anything funny, you got that? I'll follow Uncle Junk. Right, please make way, we're coming through. Mr. Nick, wait, I'll help you with the investigation. Thanks, Pearls, I appreciate that. Okay, we're going in. Laura dropped this off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. I wonder what's taking so long, but we can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright? Back is the hostage taker. I'm back to my usual self now. You are still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? Ooh, anime. Ooh, is that Edgeworth? Poggers. Oh my god.
I trust you've been well, right?
Edgeworth! Oh my god. Oh my god, he's wearing glasses now. He's getting so this sight's going bad. Edgeworth, what are you doing here? I mean, well actually no, he can't be that old. Because, I mean, he was a teenager or a very young adult in the original trilogy. This is Miles Edgeworth. I mean, come on, does he really need an introduction? But for those that don't know, Miles Edgeworth, him and Phoenix have known each other since they were kids. And he used to be a prosecutor, but now... Well, he's still a prosecutor, but he has an extra... is it epithet? How do they... I guess nickname, I'll just say. But yeah, he's chief prosecutor. So... Oh. So let's talk to Edgeworth about how he's been. But yeah, Edgeworth is looking good. Hydration is important. Just giving my voice a break because, yeah, the reason I've been sneezing so much is because I feel like I'm having like another cold flare up again, like flare up of cold symptoms. seems to be happening to me a lot lately, but it feels like it's been colder than usual here this winter. Like, I don't usually see weather in the UK stick around the very low positives and the very high negative, the very high negatives. So like I want to say our temperature range lately has been like from -2 or -1 to like 5. It's been really cold to +5. It also doesn't help that the weather keeps changing because one day it might be really rainy and then the next day it might be unbelievably sunny. Okay, so there is a photo of Metis's body. And we also have the other side of the room. So the photos have been added to the court record. They were taken by the first person to discover the body. And here is Metis's autopsy report. The cause of death was a stab wound to the chest, the weapon pierced the heart, and death was instantaneous. And we already know the murder weapon was the katana. Now let's ask Edgeworth about Black Quill. Okay, can I find out how old Edgeworth is? Yeah, there we go. Miles Edgeworth is 34 in this game. So, yeah, he isn't quite the young adult that he was in the original trilogy. It is weird seeing Edgeworth in 3D. Like, I feel like I got used to seeing Phoenix Wright in 3D and even Apollo in 3D, but seeing Edgeworth in 3D, it's like, nah, I'm used to looking at him in 2 dimensions. Okay, we're gonna examine the room to look for evidence. So we're just gonna go over anything and everything that looks suspicious. So we'll start with this table. So the Hope capsule has been updated. It was at the crime scene 7 years ago. Now let's look at them. I'm gonna look at the robot. Okay, now let's look at the yellow thing in the middle. And now let's look at these travel cases. Or, yeah. Rolling cases, that's the word. Now let's look at the hovering thing in the air. Okay, what else can I examine? It looks like we've examined everything on this side of the room, so now let's go to this side and start with the emergency ladder. So the emergency ladder has been added to the court record. It was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotic slab. It was used to evacuate personnel. Okay, now let's look at the big massive wheel of apparatus in the middle. So let's look at the deaths. It just sounds like grief to me, or at least one of the many forms of grief. That's so crazy that the robots can detect a person by their heartbeat. Poor Miles. Robots with a Heart book has been added to the court record. It explains the recognition and communication features of the Ponker robots. And there we go, we've examined everything. Okay, Edge West request. Okay, so I'm gonna have to continue the investigation and conversation next time because, especially given that my cold symptoms seem to be flaring up, I think I am gonna end the stream here for today. So I will save though, because I definitely don't want to lose any progress. There we go. Yep, that looks about right to me. So, okay, I'm just gonna exit the game. I don't wanna, because if I go right to the desktop, then I can immediately go to end of stream mode. Okay, thank you for watching, everyone. Yeah, I'm glad I managed to finish the Cosmic Turnabout case, and I'm really looking forward to continuing next Monday with the final main case in Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, but there is also the bonus Apollo Justice Trilogy exclusive case that I kind of forgot about. So I will be next on stream tomorrow, and I will be getting back to my playthrough of Yakuza 4 Remastered. I remember the last stream being really good, but I'm trying to... I think we're in Kamurocho now with Saejima, if I remember rightly. Or we might even have moved on to Kiryu. I can't... I know we saw Saejima and Kiryu interact, which was a really interesting part of the story, but I'm really looking forward to getting back to some Yakuza tomorrow. Hopefully this cold doesn't get any worse, and it'll get better, because I don't really want to sound any more nasally or raspy than I already feel like I do. So I will keep an eye on it and keep you guys updated, but definitely as of now there will be a stream tomorrow at 4 PM GMT, so I hope you will all attend, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, however, and you are on Twitch, please feel free to give me a follow. I would really appreciate it. Also, please do tell your friends about my stream if you do enjoy my channel. I am trying to get more people to watch my streams, because I really want to hit affiliate. My birthday is in 18 days, and I know it might be an unrealistic unrealistic goal, but if I could get to affiliate in time for my birthday, that would be like the best 27th birthday gift ever, because yeah, that's how old I'll be in 18 days. I'll be turning 27. So yeah, so tell your friends about my streams, definitely get more people in here. Also tell them that if they do enjoy their stream, if they do enjoy the streams, to stick around and try and attend as many as possible in a row, because it's one thing for me to get average viewers, but it's another thing entirely to keep those viewers coming back. And I hope that with my charming British personality and my entertaining gameplay, I do a good job of keeping you guys coming back. And yeah, so now that little ramble's over, if you're on YouTube, I am going to end the stream, but before I do, please do like, comment, subscribe, and turn your notifications on to show your support, and I will see you all tomorrow for some Yakuza 4 Remastered. Okay, bye-bye YouTube. Thanks for